Welcome to a brand new podcast. And this is the Oracle 19. And my name is Greatness. You can shop online to our baby shopping mall, which is www.evolutionoflondon.com. There we have a whole wide range of products. Again, there's house products such as bathroom supplies, which is towels, etc. So definitely check it out. We have over 20,000 pieces, so definitely check out www.evolutionoflondon.com. Office supplies, jewelry, artwork, etc. Also check out www.evolutionoflondon.org. There we have custom clothing, accessories, digital products for personal as well as business use. And finally, check out evolutionoflondon.store, S-T-O-R-E. There we have soaps, lotions, more clothing there, DVDs, shipped throughout all throughout North America. So check out evolutionoflondon.store. We have different links to other affiliates, www.linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. So I definitely need your guys to check that out and support that as well. We do have a Patreon channel that we have videos that's not posted on YouTube and there's a paid subscription for that, very minimum. So definitely check that out, www.patreon.com/evolutionoflondon. And that's for check out videos. There's digital products there, such as artwork, and finally consulting services as well. Check out the company Royalty9International.com. It's a luxury candle company. They have a whole wide range of luxury candles, different designs. They have scented as well as unscented candles. Now the scented candles have from eucalyptus, peppermint, jasmine, sandalwood, frankincense, and myrrh, just to name a few. So I definitely need your guys to support that company. Any questions, concerns, or if you want to order, you can contact them at royalty9international@gmail.com. And throughout their TikTok and Instagram is Royalty9International. So again, www.royalty9international.com for your luxury candles. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years. If you want to book a consultation, email him at williesfitness99@gmail.com. That's Willies, WILLYZ, fitness99@gmail.com, and book your appointment. Also, check out his merch, www.wjaaccessories.org. There he have custom clothing, accessories, digital products for your use as well. Music. Cheap Limousine Channel on YouTube. I need your guys to like, subscribe, and share to Cheap Limousine Channel on YouTube for your different beats, as what you're hearing now. And once you go to his YouTube channel, you will see his other social media sites. So definitely support Cheap Limousine Channel on YouTube. Continuing to train on YouTube, check out Greatness 19 channel. That's our educational channel to open up your third eye. So definitely like, subscribe, and share to the Greatness 19 channel, road to 1K. So definitely support that. Pass it along to your family, friends, and foe. The Greatness 19 channel on YouTube. And finally, continuing to train on YouTube, Mr. Evolution of London. That's our health and wellness channel. Be posting more and more videos on your health and wellness. So check out Mr. Evolution of London, health and wellness channel, and like, subscribe, and share to that as well. Also, check out the restaurant Oliver Twist every Friday night. Uptown Friday Night, located at 130 King Street. Again, that's in London, Ontario. And definitely support DJ Panthro on the ones and twos, giving you a wide range of old school and new school. One of the best DJs in southwestern Ontario. And their location is downtown London, the Covent Garden Market, and the telephone number is 519-204-9184. Start time is 9 p.m. until 2 a.m. So definitely support DJ Panthro. Again, he's one of the best DJs in Southwest Ontario, as I pointed out. Support the machine for Uptown Saturday night. Uptown Friday night. And again, it is written. AT Repair Center. 2 locations located at 1401 Ernest Avenue, Unit 15. Again, that's London, Ontario. Their telephone number is 519-204-7300. Ask for Freedom. Yes, that's his name, Freedom. Been in business for over 20 years. And he sells at his first location all different phones, computers, iPods, iPads, accessories in general. Again, his business email is atcellphonerepair@gmail.com. And his second location is 93 Wellington Street North, again, London, Ontario. He wholesale at that second location, computers, iPods, iPads, all phones, and accessories as well. And many different other electronics there that he wholesales. So I need y'all guys to check out 93 Wellington Street North, his second location. And again, that's London, Ontario. Toll-free number is 877-358-0026. And local number is 226-503-3300. He also provides security cameras and install them as well. Number 1 for parts and accessories in London, Ontario. And finally, their email address at that location is atwholesaler@gmail.com. That's atwholesaler@gmail.com. Now, the Oracle 19 is on all major platforms. We are on Anchor.fm, Google, Apple, Spotify, and Amazon Music, just to name a few. So I need you guys to definitely like and subscribe and share and pass the information along. Any information I have mentioned in the description box, you can check it out on the Oracle 19 podcast, the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London, and finally www.theoracle19radio.com. All right, well, today, as always, I give my perspective of things. It might not be liked as usual, but I have to bring it out. And today's topic is war. Does war bring change? Does war bring change? Now, some people will say yes. Well, look, let's look at for what it is in North America or throughout the world, in European nations, and just countries around the world. We have to admit, a lot of changes in society come about from war, violence, and money. Now, government want their citizens to always be passive, but government is passive aggressive or outright aggressive. The rich use their money to create wars. Is that true or not? Ask the Rockefellers, the Gettys, the Morgans, the Vanderbilts, the Bush family, and etc. The elitists. Don't their money brings change? That's my question from me to you. Don't their money brings violence? If you investigate yourself, do your own due diligence, and investigate their history from the past leading to now, you will find some information that might surprise you. How their money / influence have brought violence, which created change in their favor, of course. The U.S. Treasury is not owned by the government, just in case you didn't know. It's privately owned. It's a corporation. I want you to Google the U.S. Treasury, the history of the U.S. Treasury. And as an example, you can see what I'm talking about. Now let's see. Let me see. I'm going to actually pause on the music. So I'm going to go into it. I want you to hold on for a minute. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I just want you. Let me see if I can dig out something for you. Here at the station here. Since I'm talking about, and I have the U.S. the history of the U.S. Treasury on my mind, history of the U.S. Or I should say the Federal Reserve. Excuse me, the history of the Federal Reserves. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah. Because see, the history of the Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserves, uh, they the ones that give the U.S. banks money. Hold on. And that's what I meant to say. The Federal Reserves. The U.S. Federal Reserves, they the ones that give the banks to the monies and dictate the interest rates. And who ran it? Let me see if I can get some information in real time for you. Who used to quote unquote run it? All right. Well, there's also a book called The Secrets of the Federal Reserve, The Federal Reserve Conspiracies, and this is, you can also find, you can go on Amazon for that. And if you go on Google and just type in the Federal Reserve, it's they say it's the most powerful economic institution of the United States. And again, it's not owned by the U.S. government. Is a private entity. The Rothschilds had the Rockefellers had their hands in it in that occult organization. I can go on and on with that, but you can easily go in Google, and I'm gonna let you do your own research with that, because the history goes back. Who created the Federal Reserve was the Morgans and the Rockefellers, and that's something you can go on yourself. In the early 1900s, they created the Federal Reserve, and basically, whoever is the one issuing the money or controls the money controls the country. Just think about that. Whoever have the money controls the country. If the Federal Reserve is not U.S. owned, it's private owned, and who owns it currently? See, the elitists don't have to, they are so wealthy, they're not going to put their names on the forefront. They have, I'm okay, I'm going to put I'm just going to say allegedly, okay? Because you have to figure it out. I say allegedly. They'll put their names, they'll pay other people to have their name on the forefront as president or CEO. But in reality, they the ones that own companies, such as the Federal Reserve. The elitists have so much money. Again, just keep that in mind. They don't put their names on the forefront. We thinking who dominates the world is like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. You thinking they the movers and shakers. They only new money. Is the old money that controls the population. They the movers and shakers. I'm gonna bring it back to the war information, the initial topic, but I just wanted to give you that little tidbit. So whoever have the money can control and start wars for their own benefit. Just something to keep in mind. I know I went off a little bit, but I'm gonna bring it back to initial topic. So just wanted to give you that information. A lot of people don't know, don't care, don't pay attention, but it's out here. It's out here, and you need to know. So, but anyway, they the ones that whoever or I should say this, does war brings change? What say you? What do you think? It's the obvious. It's the obvious. And bringing it back to everyday people, see, you dumbed down and you made to be sheeps. You are mentally controlled. You are dumbed down. You created to be passive. While government conjure up war through violence and money so they can get more money and more control over who? You. Especially in North America and European nations, especially. So, therefore, the question I ask you, should you be passive? Should you remain passive? See, this is why also, allegedly, powers that be don't want to see you flourish. They want to see most people poor, subservient. Therefore, the powers that be can have more control over you. Is that true or not? Does war bring change? That's why in certain third world countries, so-called third world countries, is people, there's uproars and overthrowing of nations. Violence brings change. I should say, also, war brings change. Especially if you don't have money. Sometimes you might have to fight for change, I should say. Sometimes it comes down to that. What say you? I'm slowing this down tonight for things to sink in for you. So many times it's double standards. And I'm not saying you should start violence, start creating violence, and just causing mischief. I'm not saying any of that. So don't trip. I'm just basically making a comment. I'm not even suggesting anything you should do personally. I'm just stating certain facts that throughout history leading up to now. Does war bring change? Now, the average person will say, well, greatness. What's the point of this? How does I deal with this in my everyday life? Well, sir or madam, let me explain. And I shall. And I will. Well, sometimes you have to, it's a mental war out here. Let's explain this. It's a mental war, as you should know. So not everything is in the physical. Starts with the mind first. creating a plan, a strategy. Not every time in your daily life you should, my suggestion, my perspective, is to sit back and be passive. Sometimes you might have to go to war with individual or individuals. Now, again, there's different types of war. There's actually the physical war, which is the straight violence. And there's the mental war, which you have to use strategy, wit, your higher senses. You have to think on your feet. Things have to be precise, precision based. Okay, let me explain. Let's say on your job. Let's start with that. Your boss. Keep on, you do your job, you're on time. You give no problems, you're a good worker. But your boss just keep on giving you a hard time. What should you do? Should you just sit back and just keep working every day and just go with the punches? Or should you fight? Not physically. There's different types of war. See, there's a book called The Art of War, which explains a lot. It explains a lot. I would suggest to read that book, The Art of War. And I talked about this on previous shows like Know Your Enemy and Who's Your Enemy, things like that. War Season. So you definitely checked out the previous shows. Now let's say with your job, different type of war. The power of your pen. See, sometimes you have to fight for your respect. Fight for your freedom. And I'm zeroing on your job, and then I'm going to expand in terms of life. So walk with me. Sometimes you're going to have to go over the head of your boss, and with the power of your pen, fight for your respect. Which is going to be an uneasy feeling, yes. No question about it. That's definitely an uneasy feeling. Because now your boss is going to look at you and zero in on you, and you're going to have to go through. He or she might treat you a little differently, be an uncomfortable situation. But life is uncomfortable at times, many times. You can't always be passive. You're going to have to fight. It's just what it is. Does war bring change? Goes right back to the topic. That's a different type of war. So you have to go above your supervisor's head to create change for your mental freedom while you're still at work. Same thing if you harassed by your employees. Now, again, that could be tricky as well. Sometimes you don't want to rock the boat. But sometimes you have to bring it to your employee. You have to directly pull that person to the side and tell them what it is. Don't mess with me. Or don't mess with me, or I'm gonna F you up. Maybe straight like that. Sometimes going in a roundabout way, talking to your supervisor, or talking to HR. Sometimes direct verbal talking to another individual, you have to bring it to a person and let them know. This can be the repercussions if you keep messing with me. Sometimes you have to go that route. Now, again, I'm not suggesting you should or should not, because it's a case-by-case situation. And only you know what situation you in. So I'm not going to never tell you this is what you should do. But war does bring change. Even on a minute level. So sometimes you have to do that. What about life in general? Your relationships. If it's not working out. Unfortunately, sometimes relationships, it becomes physical. I'm not going to say who's at fault, man or woman, but is war necessary? War brings checks and balances in life, even on a lower level, even let's say your relationship. Unfortunately, you have a lot of sometimes a physical fight, and people will say, well, you shouldn't put your hands on anybody, yada, yada, yada. It shouldn't never come down to that. Yes, that is true. But let's say, for example, and it can go both ways, man or woman. Let's say that other party puts your life in danger with a weapon towards you. What should you do? Should you self-defend yourself, or should you just let that other party just delete you? What say you? So, does war bring change? Violence and money. In this case, it's violence. Sometimes you have to defend yourself. And in this day and time, government try to dumb us down even more. Say, just while the person is coming at you with a physical tool, you want to hold up your camera phone and video chat with the person, or take a picture of them while they coming at you and say, get away from me, I got you on video, get away from me, I got video, I will forward to the DA, get away from me, while this person is aim, shoot, and fire, bang, at you in real time. But you got a video out, you got your camera phone on video, and video taking pictures and video them on live and say, get away from me. Does that make sense? Doesn't mean sometimes you just got to put that phone down and go for it all to protect yourself. Protect yourself in the name of self-defense. War brings change. Sometimes you got to handle that situation to let the other party know it's me or you. It's going to be a fatality today. We're not going to be taking pictures, video, chatting live on social media while you're coming at me with a tool to delete me. We're going to war. Yes, we're going to war. And war brings change. Now, where the money comes is you have to have that money for those lawyers. That's where that comes in. And lots of it. That's why it's very important for you citizens to position yourself in life. Position means a hell of a lot. You don't see, this is how that's why I started with you about the elitists in the very beginning and how they move. Yes, I know you will never be of that standard, that status. You might never be that billion trillionaire. It's okay. Just be 1,000-aire. Have a couple of thousands. Strive to have a couple of thousands available in your house. A couple of thousands available in your bank account. Be 1,000-aire. At least. At least have money reserved for bail. 10 grand at least. That's what you should be striving for. At least 10 grand. For starters. But I know most citizens statistically barely have a couple $100 in their bank account. We just open up bank accounts and have $50, $100. If we luck, some of us only have 10. A lot of us is -0. The money you put in, you got to pay out to pay a bill. But this is war season. All around you, you can see it in society. Government is warring against other governments. It's all up in the air. Violence is in the neighborhoods near you. People's getting shoot up daytime and nighttime. Elderly, children, women, grown men, everybody's getting stuck up, I should say, in real time. But we got nothing. We just being passive. Just put your phone up and wait for law enforcement in 5 or 10, 15 minutes to come save you. You know what can happen in 5 and 10 minutes? You being gone. That's what can happen. So does war bring change? Start preparing yourself. I talked about this on previous shows. That's a reality. You no longer living in, don't think wherever you live, you're in a safe zone. This is war season all around you and it's getting worse, not better. Movies will tell you. The powers that be put it in Hollywood every year. The Purge, as an example. It's all around you. Do you know how to fight? That's my question. No, it sounds very basic? Do you know how to throw a punch? How hard is your right hand or left hand? How fast are you? It's not about being some type of power lifter, lifting up trains and planes. It's not about that. I'm just asking you. Do you know how to protect yourself? Or do you know how to hold up your phone and say, help, help, help? And you scream out, help, Mayday, help. Man down, woman down, woman down. By that time, it's over. It's over. Government all around you, my question is government slowly deleting you? Slowly. In a passive aggressive way. What do I mean by that? People don't have to come at you with a hammer or that tool in general to delete you. Government don't have to use that tool to come at you to delete you. I'm repeating that again and again. The government do not have to come with you with a tool directly to delete you. Again, read The Art of War. Even there's audio to that on social media. They come at you in a passive aggressive way as well. Polluting your air via alleged chemtrails, giving you seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, seedless oranges, and you eat it and think it's good. It's called GMO, genetically modified. What is it? GMO? Boy, I just had a brain lapse. It's basically genetically modified foods. Yeah, seedless cucumbers offered to the population. It looks good. It lasts long. All made in the laboratory. But is that good for you? What does it do long term? What about those shots that you've been taking because the government tells you it is good for you? It is delicious. Why? That's what I would say. Why? So do they have to come outright to slowly delete you? Is this violence? Passive aggressive violence towards the citizens? Is this a slow deletion towards the citizens via government? Slowly reducing the population? Is this a form of war? War. Is this a form of war? Money that they have to spend initially in the labs to create violence on a passive aggressive scale. What say you? So does war bring change? I'm just breaking this down slowly, step by step, taking this real slow for things to sink in. Have you thought about this? Or do you care? Many of you I know don't care. What has that do? What is greatness? What that have to do anything for me in my life? Well, let me tell you, great sir, dear madam, war is coming towards you, and you don't even know it. Powers that be is being allegedly, I should say, allegedly passive aggressive towards you, and you don't even know it. And you're not even preparing for it. Violence and money is being put out to destroy you citizens in real time, every day, all day. With the new laws that is being implemented, is mentally destroying you. Why you figure a lot of people is going off the deep end these days? They're being mentally squeezed in a box via government, powers that be, your elitists. And I know many of you is not going to understand, what am I talking about? What is greatness saying? But again, unfortunately, this might not be for you. It's only for the few, not the many. Maybe you have a low frequency, mental low frequency in terms of understanding things, and you're not ready for this information, nor you give a damn about this information. So, dear sir, dear madam, this is not maybe for you. Maybe not at the moment, or maybe never. You might just become food for the gods. But are you prepared? Are you prepared for the changes around you? How are you trying to defend yourself mentally? That's my question. And again, does war bring change? Yes, it does. Sometimes change happens when people change their mindset, when citizens change their mindset. And I talked about briefly in the beginning of this show about how different countries, different people in different countries, they overthrow governments. Sometimes in life, you can't be scared. And again, there's many situations in terms of war, creating war, defending yourself. The art of war is a prime example. You got to know your enemy. You have to study your enemy. You have to know how powerful your enemy is. It's like two boxers. If you have a person 6'8", a martial artist, fast, strong, and you 5'7", $150. This opponent of yours is 350 pounds, fast and strong, world champ, and you just a Joe Smo, 5'7", 150. In your mind, you dealing with a juggernaut. How in the world I'm going to defeat this juggernaut? He's fast, he's strong, he's bigger than me, 350, strong, cut up. And me, I'm just 5'7", I'm using that as an example, 150. How can I defeat my enemy if you was of that size and weight? How would you defeat him? The average person will have a defeatist mindset and say it's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Everybody have a weak point. But see, you have to settle your mind. I'm just using this analogy here. See, the problem is when you initially look at a giant like that, you will have a defeat mindset automatically. I cannot defeat him. This is impossible. If you already put in your mind it is impossible, it cannot happen, that you already lost. If you check out sports, many underdogs, from boxing to baseball to football to basketball, underdog teams, juggernauts, was when they was rated undefeated, could not be beaten, and they was beaten. The underdog won. Throughout history of sports, I'm using that as an example, many underdogs won games, won fights, on the impossibility of it could not happen, but it happened. That's the first thing you have to look at. Every enemy has a weak point. Just like you have a weak point, every enemy has a weak point. Even government has a weak point. They can't govern everybody. Even though they have cameras all over the place, numbers all over, our numbers called SIN numbers, social security numbers, basically that could check us day and night. They got smart TVs, smartphones that could track us down. But nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Remember that. Nothing is possible. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Every enemy has a weak point. And I'm repeating that again. Think about that. But when you go into the fight saying you cannot win, you already lost. You might not be as violent as that party. You might not have as much money as that party. But you have enough to defeat that party. War don't always have to be violent directly. War could be done indirectly. What do I mean? Power of the pen, power in numbers, proper strategy, thinking outside the box, going against the grain. And sometimes you just have to just go for it all in the blaze of glory. I let that sink in. You take it for wherever you take it. You have to go out in a blaze of glory. So, it's many different ways. Violence and money brings change. Unfortunately. But this society, this modern day society, was created via war, outright or passive aggressive. This land in North America was stolen, jacked. The Europeans jacked it, stole it, gangstered it, whatever terminology you want to use. We know this. This is history here that we know. It was native land, right? And it's been violence and money used within modern day society from that point even to now. It never changed. Violence always been on the plate of the powers that be. Elitists or via government. So it never changed. So what makes you think it will change as long as these people is in power? This is their MO. This is what it is. You black people already know what this is. You know this automatically. I touched on it a little bit in previous shows. War brings change. Does war bring change? You see it around you. You need to strap up your boots and figure out what you need to do. And there's going to be casualties of war. Yes, it will be. That's always will be in war. Family, friends, and foe. Because again, you have informants. People's going to turn on you. People's not going to bother you. People's going to be against you. War is serious business. You lose your father, your mother, because your mindset is changing. Your spouse, your children, your friends. It's war, baby. It's war. And this is what it is. So what you doing, great citizens of the world? What you doing? What you doing to prepare for your safety and sanity and what the powers that be put upon you indirectly? What are you doing? How are you preparing? Are you mentally preparing? Are you physically preparing? Or are you doing both? What you doing? Or are you just sheep? Just, well, I can't do anything. I just gotta go with the flow. You know, I gotta just work. I gotta pay these bills. Well, then, all right. Then you just a mental slave and a physical slave as well. Best of luck to you, buddy. Mrs. and ma'ams, sirs and gents. What say you? Thank you for listening.